Should you work in retirement? We get this question a lot from our clients, and we hear this often that people really just want to work in retirement. They may not say that when they first retire, but then they quickly realize a few months in that I don't think I'm meant to be retired. And it's actually biblical. If you look in the Bible, there's nothing in the Bible that has to say about retirement. It's not biblical to retire. It's actually biblical to make sure you can continue to live an impactful life throughout your retirement. And so that may not mean you have to work forever, but it means we're having purpose in our lives and still making an impact. So we're going to talk about 5 reasons why you should look to work in retirement. And this isn't based on our opinion. This is based on what our clients have told us and why they have worked in retirement. Point number 1 is simply what I've already mentioned, is purpose. Having that sense of purpose, so you know when you're waking up in the morning, you're going to be able to leave an impact. You're going to be able to do something rather than just going through the motions. It's great to go golfing in retirement, but going golfing every single day can get pretty old after a while. If you don't believe me, ask someone who's retired, and they'll probably tell you that at some point. And there's probably a few outliers who that's what their purpose is, and they're meant to be golfers every day, and it's so good for them. But typically what we hear is most people, that's not the most enjoyable retirement for them. There's a book that I'm going to recommend. There's a link up here. It's called Retire Mentality. And this book is a really good one to help frame your mind of what retirement may look like for you. So if you're near retirement or you're getting ready to retire, I would definitely recommend this book. This is one of my favorite books just to help you frame that reference behind what is it going to look like. Should you just donate your time and volunteer every day? Should you continue to work? Should you retire to a life of leisure? What does that look like for you? And it shows you the pros and cons of all those different options. And I'm sure that will help you there if you're just trying to explore more of what this will actually look like before that time comes. Or maybe you're in retirement and you're already starting to find that you're in that little phase where it's just like, I don't know what I should be doing. This book will probably help you find that sense of purpose that you may be looking for there. The second reason why we see it makes sense for people to work in retirement is to have more income so they don't have to withdraw as much from their investments. In retirement, you no longer have an income coming in, and yes, most people have Social Security. Social Security on average will cover about 40% of your income, so you're still responsible for the other 60% of your income. And our question is where is that money going to come from? And if you have a pension, which is less than 20% of the people, that may help your situation a little bit, but where's the rest of the money coming from? And typically, if you're not working anymore, you've got to take that money from your investments. And so what we see is that when people retire, they're going to have to draw down their investments. And for some people, that may be a concern, seeing that go down and down and down over time. Well, if you continue to work, maybe we don't have to take out as much money from the investment because now we have that income coming in from the job that we're working at. And so that's what you have to look at. And maybe it causes you not to take out any money, and then your investments continue to grow over time would be the idea there. And for those people who are worried about the market going down or worried about inflation over time, then for you, working part-time even in retirement just a little bit to limit the amount you have to withdraw from your investments can make a lot of sense for something called sequence of returns risk. And you can click this link here. I did a video on this, and we got a lot of great feedback on this, so I'd highly recommend you watch it. But basically, sequence of returns risk is retiring at the wrong time. And so there's something called the fragile decade, that if the market goes down 5 years before you retire or 5 years after you retire, then your financial situation can be dire because you're facing what we call a double loss. The market went down and you're retired, and now you have to take out money from that investment. And the question is, do we have enough time to make it up, is what we have to be looking at. So if you're able just to work for that 5 or 10 year period after you retire, just something part-time, just to give you another income source, you're going to limit your risk there with sequence of returns risk. And if the market goes down early in retirement, you won't feel as bad because you won't have to take as much out from that nest egg, and you won't be doing that double loss we talked about to the worst degree that it could be. So remember sequence of returns risk, and again, another reason to continue working in retirement. The third reason why you should work in retirement is a funny one. And this actually comes from a specific client that I'm thinking of. And they told us, yeah, I got to go back to work because I'm driving my wife crazy. And the wife said, yep, he's forced to go back to work. I'm making him. That may be a reality though, right? They often say, and I hate to say it, but I've had people tell me this before, that you can get boring in retirement. And if you're not opening your horizons, you're not doing different things, you may become more status quo and you're not going to be able to be as enjoying to be around, which means that people maybe get sick of you, to be pretty blunt and frank. And I'm sorry to be that way, but you know how I am. I'm going to tell you how it is. And so that may be just something you want to consider. If you don't feel like that's an issue, then no problem. But we've heard feedback that that can be a concern, especially when it's spouses, because it's just helpful to make sure you're always doing something. You guys aren't consistently together every second of every day. The fourth thing that you have to consider is life expectancy typically decreases when you retire early. And this, you can do your research online to see this for yourself. And this isn't always the case for most people. But typically, again, when you don't have that sense of purpose, you're not going to be as fired up for life anymore. And so not having that work, that experience to get up and do, that goes back to that point number one of purpose. We're going to find that, hey, we're probably not going to have as much reason to continue living if we're not enjoying it as much. And so we found a lot of people that work can be very tiresome. It can be very burdensome. But if it's done the right way and it's doing something you enjoy, it can also give you a lot of life and a lot of energy. The fifth reason why you should work in retirement is we need you to help pay into Social Security. Social Security's in trouble, right? We need you to help fund Social Security so our economy can keep booming. And, I know this is a joking one, but it's actually kind of true. We need more people working. There's less people working today than there were back in the day. So the more we can fuel our economy, the better it is for everyone else. So those are the reasons why you should work in retirement. And so if you're on the edge here, I hope that was able to encourage you. I want to make it very clear. I am not always pushing anyone or everyone to work in retirement. There's a lot of clients that we talk to that say, yeah, you don't work at all. Go live that life of leisure. Just make sure you have that sense of purpose, okay? So maybe that means volunteering. Maybe that means spending time with grandkids. Whatever that may look like for you, just make sure you have that. Hi, hope you enjoyed the video. As an avid viewer, we would like to offer you a free copy of my new book that just came out, I Hate Taxes. If you'd like a free copy of this book and how to lower your taxes and own your retirement, look in the description. You can fill out that link and we'll actually send you a copy of our new book. Hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoy the rest of your day.